Hey guys, um, today I'm starting to make this a football channel a little bit. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm not really into movies anymore, I'm gonna be honest. I'll still watch reviews and stuff, but football channel now, I guess you can call it. Okay, so, I'm gonna make you guys a top 10 receiver list of 2012. You know, I just feel like doing this because, I have 4 honorable mentions on here. I'm going to explain why I picked him. Now, I just want to let you guys know, I could have someone above someone or below someone where the stats are below, or, if say I have someone whose stats are lower at number 3 than the guy's stats at number 4. Alright, it's for a reason, and I'll explain it, okay? I didn't base everything on stats, because I went back this year, I watched all the games on NFL Rewind. I'm not kidding. It was torture sometimes. Like the blowout games, and I didn't really watch. I didn't really watch the Chiefs or the Raiders. So top 10 list. I have 5 honorable mentions though. So my first one's Reggie Wayne. He had an amazing year. Amazing year. 106 catches, almost 1,400 yards. Like, how many touchdowns was it? Like 5. There was a lot of people with very low touchdowns in the receiving category this year. He had a really good year. Future Hall of Famer right there. If he doesn't, that would be a shame, because he's a great wide receiver in the history of the game. Him and Marvin Harrison, I remember them at the Colts. It's so cool that he stuck around with the Colts, because, I don't remember hearing a thing about him last year. My next honorable mention's got to be Victor Cruz. I'm not a huge Victor Cruz fan. I feel like he's overrated. I feel like he's not the best wide receiver on his team. But the next guy I have an honorable mention that was on the same team, the Giants. Okay, but Victor Cruz, he's a good wide receiver. He's slot. He's fast. I just feel like he's not very clutch. He drops a lot of passes. I'm not even kidding, especially in the clutch situations. I feel like I just gotta put him in there. He had a pretty decent season. People were like, I was disappointed this season. I wasn't really that disappointed this season. Last year was a luck season. This year he had 80-something catches for barely 1,000 yards or something like that. So Victor Cruz, good player, not an elite receiver though. Number 3, I have Hakeem Nicks, who I feel like is the best Giants receiver, truly. But he didn't prove it because he was hurt this year. But he's proven it many times in the Super Bowl. Previous to this year, I had him in my top 10 receivers, to go into the year. I had him around the 7 or 8 area. He's clutch in playoffs. He's clutch in big situations. I love Hakeem Nicks. I feel like when he comes back next year, beast mode, man. Beast mode. And then at number 4, I have Michael Crabtree. Number 4, my honorable mentions, that is. Michael Crabtree, I remember watching him at Texas Tech. He's been such a bust, people say, but, yeah, I have to agree he's been a bust, but he had a really good year this year. He had 85 catches for, 1,500 yards, or 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. He had a very good year, in my opinion, and I can't really put him ahead of, Hakeem Nicks or Victor Cruz, because, they've proven they're better. This is 1 year for Michael Crabtree. Maybe if he proves it to me next year, he could find his way on a top 10 list, maybe. He's a good receiver, good player. I watched him today, he played good. And then number 5, Steve Johnson, from Kentucky. It's hard for me to explain. It's kind of a homer thing I have him in here, because, I'm not a huge Kentucky fan, but my family is, and, I just kind of like him because he's from here, and he's getting some attention on SportsCenter. So number 10, I have Julio Jones. Julio Jones, I might have him in my top 10 just from the Hive, watching him earlier today. Julio Jones, man, he can make some spectacular catches. Man, that dude can fly too. He's like a speed receiver with amazing hands and consistently catches. So think of Torrey Smith, but more consistent. that's who Julio Jones is. And taller, more built. Man, he's a big dude. He's out there. Alabama. Well, he was like in the top 10 or 15 picks of 2011. He's an amazing player in my opinion, and watching him is just so fun. It's a shame that the guy right next to him is Roddy White. I don't want to give who's on my list later in this list, but I mean, if you don't guess that Roddy White's on the list, you're probably retarded. I'm just kidding. I don't want to offend anybody. So at number 9, I have Wes Welker. Wes Welker, he's a good player, but my problem with him is he drops a lot of passes. I mean, you can say a lot of people drop passes. Everyone on the list drops passes here and there, but what I noticed is he runs screen passes, catches most of them. He's a great player. He's fast. He's good. I would like to see him run some more deep routes so he can prove to me that he's amazing. But, I've already seen that he's amazing. He's a future Hall of Famer. I mean, I ain't complaining about him. I'm sitting here to talk about how good he is. He's an amazing talent. He's so skilled. He went undrafted. I mean, he helps Tom Brady out, even though they lost today. I got all my picks wrong today. I'm going to pick the Super Bowl, though. So, yeah, great player. Again, finished top 10 catches, top 10 yards. He's just the man. Alright, so then we got number 8, Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas had easily the best year of his career. Demaryius Thomas had 94 catches for 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns. He had a beast year. Demaryius Thomas, former first-round pick, high expectation, many high expectations. He's famous for dropping balls. He really improved on that this year. I mean, trust me, he still drops a lot of balls, but he really improved on it. He makes spectacular plays. He's just a great wide receiver. He's so fast. He's so big. He's just a great player. Number 7 is Roddy White. Roddy White, future Hall of Famer, I hope. I mean, some people say he is, some people say he's not. I think he is. I think he's proven it. He's put together, how many years has he been in the league? He's been, I don't know. He's been in the league forever. He's been so consistent. He's been just an absolute boss. First round pick, lived up to the expectations. So many 1,000-yard seasons, I can't even remember. Roddy White, beast player. Number 6, you're going to be surprised that he's probably on here. And I don't know why. People really underestimate this dude. And that's Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson had a Pro Bowl-worthy year, in my opinion. He got snubbed for Victor Cruz, who didn't really play all that well, in my opinion. Vincent Jackson, 72 catches for almost 1,400 yards and 8 touchdowns. He didn't have as many catches as a lot of these guys, but he really made an impact on every catch he made. He made yards with hardly nothing. He was pretty much Tampa Bay's only target. Josh Freeman, I've said this since day one, he's a good quarterback. He's got a strong arm. He gave the ball to, he didn't throw the ball to Vincent Jackson as much as hardly anyone else you see on here. I just feel like Vincent Jackson, really good wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why people always forget about him. And number 5, I know I'm going to get hated on for having this guy so high on my list. Most people probably wouldn't even put him on here, but here's why. Number 5, I have Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Cowboys at all. I really like Tony Romo, but I don't think he's that good of a player. But I feel like, you just kind of feel bad for the guy because, he loses consistently in big situations. I mean, trust me, I don't think he's good. I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like any of them. I'm not a fan of Dez Bryant personally. I don't think he seems like a nice guy at all. He seems personally like a douchebag. But he put together a great year this year. I mean, I can't lie about it. 85, or what? How many catches did he have? 92 catches for almost 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns. And here's what gets me. he started out the year not doing anything. Like, Des Bryant's been disappointment, but man, he's really proven to me that he's the man, and he could find his way up higher on the list. It's just he needs to consistently show it. That's the problem with a lot of these guys. They have one good year, and it's hard for me to put them high on the list. But I was really impressed with Des Bryant this year. I feel like this is a great year for him. I'm surprised he didn't make the Pro Bowl. He had a great year. At number 4, I have Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall had 118 catches this year for 1,500 yards and 11 TDs. He had a great year, but he was targeted 194 times. 194 times. There was only one more guy targeted more than him, and, well, we all know who that is. Megatron, but, 194 times. He had an amazing year. I'm so glad he made the Pro Bowl. He definitely deserved it. The top 4 receivers are pretty much, who should have made the Pro Bowl. So yeah, guys, that's my top 6, I guess. The top 3, they're all amazing players. I'll have to make that on a separate video. So yeah, guys, peace.